On June 18th this year, the Russian president made a state visit to North Korea, during which the two sides signed the Treaty on Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, deepening the relationship between the two countries. But what is more worthy of our attention is that Russia and North Korea have reached a consensus on the Tumen River issue. Prior to this, Russia had discussed this matter with China, and while developing the Far East strategy, it could also add a new outlet to China's north. Now, the three parties have officially recognized this strategic project. However, this decision has caused concern in Japan, who believe that this strategic plan is a huge threat. So why does Japan oppose this strategic project? How important is the development of the Tumen River to China? If you like our video content, please click to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all our latest video content. Now, let's get into today's topic. Since Russia launched a special military operation against Ukraine in 2022, Western countries have imposed unprecedented comprehensive sanctions on Russia, which has put their economy at risk of a fatal blow. In order to break these sanctions, Russia reproposed the Far East strategy at the plenary session of the 8th Eastern Economic Forum. As far as I know, the Far East strategy is Russia's most important development strategy plan in the 21st century. Its purpose is to attract investment from more countries, promote economic diversification, and improve infrastructure. Its main development directions include the construction of advanced development zones, free ports, infrastructure improvement projects, and the establishment of new seaports. And now, the Tumen River has become one of the plans of this strategy. For a long time, the strategic cooperation relationship between China, Russia, and North Korea has been the focus of Western public opinion. In addition to being geographically adjacent to each other, the three countries also have common interests and goals in politics. But in the territories of the three countries, there is a place called Tumen River. The Tumen River is a river in northeastern Asia with a total length of 520 kilometers and a total basin area of 33,200 square kilometers. The China-North Korea border section is 510 kilometers long, and the Russia-North Korea border section is 15 kilometers long. After flowing through the border between China and North Korea, it eventually flows into the Kasan district of Russia's Primorsky Krai and flows into the Sea of Japan at the Russian-North Korean border. In fact, the Tumen River itself has important shipping value. As early as the 1980s, the United Nations Development Program proposed a more ambitious long-term plan, the Eurasian Continental Bridge concept. The plan is expected to invest $30 billion in 20 years to build an international logistics and financial center in Northeast Asia at the mouth of the Tumen River. But in the past few decades, this area has not been developed. Why is this? Because the Tumen River flows through the territories of China, Russia, and North Korea, the region is extremely geopolitically sensitive. According to the Sino-Russian Ihue Treaty, the navigation rights and sea access rights of the Tumen River belong to China and Russia. This means that if China wants to develop the Tumen River waterway and build a seaport, it must negotiate with Russia. Subsequently, North Korea on the south bank of the Tumen River also requested to enjoy the right to approve and participate, making the Tumen River an object of common concern for the three countries. By 2014, at the SICA summit held in Shanghai, China and Russia had reached a substantive agreement on cooperation on the Tumen River. However, Japan strongly opposed the plan at the time and warned that if China and Russia did not cancel the cooperation project at the Tumen River estuary, they might face double sanctions from the United States and Japan. Therefore, in the past 30 years, the development plan of the Tumen River area has been difficult to make substantial progress. In addition, there are three challenges in building a port at the Tumen River. First, there is a lack of natural harbors at the entrance of the Tumen River to the sea, and it is almost impossible to build a port. If you consider building a new harbor on land near the sea, not only will the investment be huge, but the technical design will also be a big challenge. Secondly, the long-term accumulation of silt in the river channel almost blocked the waterway, making it impossible for large-tonnage ships to pass, and it is also a big problem to clean up the silt in the river. And the water depth at the Tumen River estuary is only 3.5 meters, while large cargo ships need at least 10 meters of water depth to sail. The third issue is the North Korea-Russia railway bridge. The bridge is about 530 meters long, and the bottom of the bridge is less than 10 meters from the water surface, which directly restricts the passage of some large-tonnage ships. These factors have jointly hindered the large-scale development of the Tumen River, preventing it from becoming an important water trade and transportation channel between the three countries. But in recent years, since Western countries began to impose all-round economic sanctions on Russia, in order to make a breakthrough, Russia has been thinking about using the Tumen River as a sea outlet to become a new economic link. So in May this year, when the Russian president was invited to visit China, he also raised the issue of navigation at the Tumen River outlet on the border between China, Russia, and North Korea. At the same time, in the China-Russia joint statement they issued, it can be seen that the two countries have reached a certain agreement. In June this year, after the Russian president was invited to visit North Korea, they jointly signed the Treaty on Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, the most important part of which was the signing of the Russian and North Korean governments on the construction of a cross-border highway bridge across the Tumen River Agreement. In order to quickly realize this plan, the three countries will open the 15-kilometer blockade area where the Tumen River flows into the sea to create a shared port development zone for the three parties to use together. In addition, a highway bridge on the Tumen River will also be redesigned to make it a transportation hub for the three countries and be included in the overall Tumen River development plan. In order to solve the problem of ship navigation, the existing North Korea-Russia railway bridge will be demolished, and the design of the new highway bridge will take into account not to block the river channel. These signals also represent that China, Russia, and North Korea will restart the construction of the Tumen River project. So what strategic significance will the joint development of the Tumen River by these three countries gain? Historically, the Tumen River estuary belonged to China before the Qing dynasty. But later this area was occupied by Tsarist Russia, causing northeast China to lose its only seaport. Therefore, the three northeastern provinces have long been regarded as China's inland provinces. This geographical limitation means that if the economic and trade activities in the northeast region are to be carried out through the Sea of Japan, the transportation cost will be significantly increased. Now, if the Tumen River area can be opened for use, it will not only provide convenient access for northeast China to the Sea of Japan, Russia, Europe, and the United States, but also help Russia activate the economy of the Far East. Such a strategic layout will also shorten the time and cost of transporting goods from the three northeastern provinces to the coastal areas of East Asia and Southeast Asia, thus enhancing the economic development and status of the region. What is even more worth mentioning is that the construction of the Tumen River outlet will also have important military strategic value for China's national defense undertakings. This geographical advantage makes it possible for China to form a new northern fleet in the northeast region. Through the Tumen River outlet, China's fleet can directly enter the Sea of Japan, which will constitute a military deterrent to Japan and South Korea. It is even possible that China's northeast fleet will head all the way north, approaching the third island chain of Alaska in the United States. Therefore, whether considered from the perspective of economic value or military value, the Tumen River has undisputed strategic significance for China. As a participant in this plan, if Russia can open a new outlet on the Tumen River, it will provide it with a new maritime trade channel that is not affected by Western sanctions. This strategic channel may also be connected with the Arctic waterway in the future and develop into an important international transportation channel for them. The Arctic Passage is the shortest sea route connecting Asia, Europe, and the Americas. Through this passage, Russia can cooperate with more countries and will not be affected by sanctions imposed by Western countries. It can also strengthen economic ties with Northeast Asian countries and promote the Far East economic development of the region and attracting more international investment. Likewise, North Korea can also benefit greatly from this cooperation. Since the 1990s, North Korea's economy has been in trouble. The traditional socialist planned economic system has collapsed. State-owned enterprises are inefficient, wages are meager, prices are soaring, and people's lives are difficult. In order to survive, the North Korean people began to trade and operate in semi-legal or illegal markets, forming a mixed economic model. Now, once the Tumen River estuary is put into use, it will open up new economic cooperation and investment opportunities for North Korea, help break the economic blockade of Western countries, and promote economic development. In addition, the joint development of the Tumen River by China, Russia, and North Korea will also strengthen the relationship between the three parties and promote more stable cooperation. But it is worth mentioning that when China, North Korea, and Russia reached a consensus on the Tumen River, it caused panic in Japan, and they even raised objections to the plan again. What is the reason? On the surface, the reason why Japan opposes the plan of China, Russia, and North Korea to jointly develop the Tumen River estuary is mainly because the Tumen River estuary faces the Sea of Japan and has an extremely important strategic location. The development plans of China, Russia, and North Korea mean that their ships will be able to enter the Sea of Japan at any time, which will undoubtedly pose a certain threat to Japan's national defense security. In addition, the construction and development of the Tumen River estuary will promote closer economic ties between China, Russia, and North Korea, improve the efficiency of economic and trade exchanges between these countries, and may even change the existing world pattern. In this context, Japan was threatened and had to oppose this plan. Nevertheless, the development plans of China, Russia, and North Korea are not expected to be substantially affected by opposition from Japan or the United States. However, according to the current situation, the infrastructure of the lower reaches of the Tumen River needs to be improved, and it will take time and great efforts to achieve full navigation. The three countries will have to make more efforts in the future to promote this development plan. To not miss out on our future projects and news updates, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We will continue to provide you with more exciting and interesting content.